Hey everybody, and welcome back to another amazing episode of Fast Charging with BnB. I'm Brian.
And I'm Bear.
And today we're doing another installment in our Is Doomed series. Today we're talking about a little company called Rivian. They make a truck, they make an SUV, but do they make sense and do they make money? That's what we're going to discuss today.
Do they make money?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. Starting with the engineering, I, once again, am just looking at the video from Sandy Munro. Not from Sandy himself, but from Munro and Associates. Sandy is a big fan of this car. His wife has one. What do you think of the engineering? What's your take?
I love it. I love what they've done. My only negative that I have on the vehicle is the size. It's more of a Honda Ridgeline size pickup truck. So, that's not great. But the engineering, I think, is really, really good. They've made a pickup truck actually look good. Instead of just changing the grill out. Every pickup truck you see is fairly the same as far as looks. You just put a different grill on it. The bed on every pickup truck is the same. They're trying to get other companies are trying to get a little witty with the tailgate, but Rivian went ahead and put that whole tunnel thing where you can store dead bodies and stuff like that in, which is very useful for getting people across the border also.
Super clever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I would say on the engineering front, my first instinct would be because it's overly complicated, there's a lot of things that were overbuilt or over-engineered, structures that ended up being redundant, I would knock it down for that. But I'm going to bump it back up. I'm not going to knock it up, that's for sure. I'm going to bump it back up because of things like the tunnel, because of things that they've done differently that others just, for some reason, never came around to do. So I would say for engineering, I'm going to give it a 7.
I like your 7, but I'm going to raise you 1. I'm going to go with 8. I mean, there are some fallbacks. Their tonneau cover had some issues, but they got it worked out. Did
they? Oh, I didn't know that they had. No, I think they just don't offer it now.
Oh, well, they didn't get it worked out. But you know what? You live and you learn.
Right.
What do I know?
And that's part of the overcomplicated bit of it. It's unfortunate, but live and learn. Yeah.
We're going to call the tonneau cover was delayed.
I don't know if it's fixable, but,
Of course it's fixable.
So now the question is demand. How are we feeling about demand for $80,000 to $100,000 trucks? I mean, I guess we could call these, are they luxury trucks and SUVs? I think luxury might be a strong word. Premium might be more appropriate.
Yeah, I would call them premium. I think the demand is actually going to be pretty good. They're doing good on their reservations. They're not losing them like other companies might be because they're taking so long to put them out. So this is $80,000 to $100,000 is affordable, or I shouldn't say affordable, is equivalent to other pickup trucks out there right now. If you want to go buy yourself an F-150, you're going to be at $80,000. You want an F-150 Lightning, you're going to be over $100,000. Yeah. So the price is comparable. So you're in the right price range for your competitors who are still running on gas.
Yes. And trucks, a lot of people don't realize just how expensive a truck is. Even a bare bones base model truck is expensive because it has a lot of utility, a lot of capability, and a lot of just atoms that went into making it. So for demand, what are you giving them on a scale of 1 to 10?
8.
Really? Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm saying 6 because I don't think I don't know that the market can necessarily handle so many competitors in the 100,000 range. I think it's
obviously they're going to just peel off from companies that haven't made a truck yet, like Dodge, that showed us the world's most beautiful pickup truck, and then said, "Joking," and they pulled it back. The Silverado is going to be a beautiful truck, and I have a feeling they're going to probably offer it in something other than white. So that should be that should be good. They're all going to be blue, I think. By the way.
So then we've got, let's see here, Tesla versus Rivian, two popular EV makers, one winning stock. Now we're talking about cost controls. So how's Rivian's cost controls doing?
I don't think that they're doing too well.
No, they're down. It's something like negative 240% margin on each truck. It costs them, I had it on here, but it's genuinely, their cost control is unfathomably bad. They are losing so much money on everyone they sell because it's a complicated, capable truck. And that costs a lot of money. That costs more than $80,000 to build. So for their cost controls, apologies to Mr. Scoringe, but I got to give them like a 1 or a 2. I'm thinking probably I'm going to put down 2. What do you think?
I figured you'd go with 1 and I'd go with 2, but you went with 2, so I'm going to still go with 2 because that's what it is. They've got a lot to work on with that, and I think that they're making progress on that. They are just throwing these trucks out there. I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm seeing the R1Ss now all the time. So the trucks are getting made and they're getting produced, and the more you make and the more you produce and the quicker you can get your line going, the more you're going to get your cost controls under control.
Yeah. And boy, they've just really got to... They know what they're doing, and they know what they need to do. So hopefully that's enough. The next question is cash on hand. Rivian lost $1.7 billion in 3 months. Here's why that may not be a problem. Well, I guess one reason for that would be they have deep-pocketed investors in folks like Amazon. And is Ford still in there, or did they withdraw? Do you remember?
I think they bailed probably at the right time to make some money, to have a profitable quarter, just like I did. But I don't know about your neck of the woods, but I see the Amazon trucks every day. Every single day I see them. There's been days where I've seen 4 or 5 at the same time because they're leaving the hub and they're all going out and doing their daily thing. I have not seen any of them stuck on the side of the road. Amazon ordered, I think, 100,000 of them. So that is got to be a place where they're making some cash also.
So I don't see them on the road because I am 50 miles from the Amazon hub, and that is too far for the round trip plus the local deliveries. But I have seen them, just not in my town yet.
I can see them at night when they're coming back, like a couple of months ago when it was getting darker earlier. I'd be on the freeway, and the lights with the horseshoe is just so obvious and you could see them miles away with their taillights. You could see 3 or 4 of them just going down the road. You're like, oh, Amazon's Rivian truck right there.
Well, and that's the other thing is I've seen Rivians the other direction on the highway at night because their headlights are so distinctive. And I think that's very clever marketing, whether intentional or not. I assume it's intentional.
I would assume it is because people go, what the hell is that? And at some point they figure it out and they go, that's cool stuff.
So Rivian shares, let's see, this is March. So Rivian shares fell as EV maker looks to raise $1.3 billion amid growing demand concerns. I don't know if the demand is the big concern, but they are planning to raise money because they know their runway is getting short. It isn't in an urgent cash crunch. They had $12 billion on hand at the end of 2022. And
billion, isn't it like half of what Hyundai has?
Yeah. So that is very good news. And the previous article was saying, here's why it may not be a problem that they're burning so much cash. All companies burn cash when they're growing like that. Tesla was burning 700 million a quarter when they were ramping the Model 3. They survived. If you've got 12 billion and you're looking to raise another safety billion, it's gonna give you some time. So cash on hand, score out of 10. What are you thinking?
Those numbers are actually very good. So I'm going to give them a wholehearted 6 because they are burning through a lot.
I'm going to go all the way to 7 because while they are burning a lot, I imagine a lot of it is R&D that you don't have to necessarily do twice. And again, it is years of roadmap while they're still getting profitable. And I think as more and more of these are out on the road, their ability to fundraise would improve. If they needed to raise more money 2-3 years from now, it'll be a completely different environment in which to do it, and a better one. So that's where I'm at on that. So then we've got their roadmap. So interestingly, back in 2019, they were planning 6 new models by 2025. I think they've discovered that the 3 they have is quite a full plate already. I don't know that they would necessarily look back at that and consider it very realistic. And then the next one, Rivian says it's on track with new entries. This is more recent, September. And they're just saying R1T, R1S, and then the R2 platform, which will switch to mainstream vehicles, including a smaller pickup and SUV, which means I think there's a big demand for, Datsun-sized pickups.
Do you?
I do. I think people would buy them and enjoy them. But for smaller vehicles alone, there is definitely demand. That's a good segment. In here, in this article by, it's an archived article because of the paywall.
There are 2 Datsun-sized pickups out there right now, right?
Well, which ones are they?
I would say the Ridgeline is one.
No, I'd say it's still bigger. And it
is a little bit bigger, but the other one is the Hyundai Santa Cruz.
Oh, yeah, turd is a strong word, but
a Datsun's bed is bigger than that.
Yeah.
But it's expensive for what it is also.
Yeah. Well, and these would definitely be expensive. But getting into compact vehicles at all is a reasonable strategy, I think. I think their roadmap between some fundraising and some expansion into new models and going a lot heavier into delivery vans, I'm a fan of their roadmap. I'm going to give it a 6 or 7. I'm debating. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go a little bit lower because I think that Tesla is starting a price war, or has already started a price war, and it very may well price Rivian out with some of these expensive vehicles. And it's interesting because when the Cybertruck was first announced at $39,000, we were all excited and thinking, wow, this would be great if it actually comes out at this price. Then it got to a point with prices going up. It's never going to come out at this price. We're all going to be paying more if we want this. I got a tri-motor at $69,000 on order. $69,000 right now in the car market seeming kind of cheap. But with the Tesla's price increases, it's like, oh, we're never going to get this. Now they're going back down. So they could be setting themselves up for the Cybertruck coming out at the price that they said.
That would be breathtaking.
Yeah.
And there's a non-zero chance. Rivian's roadmap, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 5 because I think they need that $1 billion to pad their way through Tesla's price drops.
Okay. The score may surprise you. They got a 57, putting them just 3 points out of first place on our list, Hyundai.
Hyundai?
I do think in my gut says Hyundai has a vastly higher chance of survival, but I really think Rivian is going to make it.
I agree. I think that Rivian is going to make it, and I do think that they have a better chance, or Hyundai has a much better chance than Rivian, not just the few point difference that we came up with. But hey, we're just doing this like shooting from the hip. We're just making this up as we go, aren't we?
That's right. We really are, and I think that much is apparent.
Yeah.
I did want to say a quick thanks to my patrons who get early access in many cases, an ad-free experience in many cases, keep the lights on in every case, and thank you guys so much for that.
And special thanks to my Patreons and that guy JJ, who's not going to watch this episode because he's so irate over the last one.
Fair. I think we were very fair in our previous episode, which was about Nikola. I think we were very fair. And yeah, if I wanted to be unfair, you'd know. So, all right. Again, we've got a few more of these coming up. If there's any companies that, do you guys like this series? Let us know so we can do more of them or not do them again. And, yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, I do too. Of course, you like them. I did all the legwork.
You did more than the legwork. You did all the work. And just so you know that Brian spent a lot of time putting this all together. And I did about 0%. So Brian gets a lot of credit for this.
Yeah, so. I'm on the road. I am in, let's see, as of this episode, I am in, where am I? I guess I'm in Ireland at this point, on the road, taking two of my boys back to the motherland to have some fun and see some sights and hopefully meet some family. So that'll be great. And yeah, we'll stay tuned for the next bunch and we'll see you then.
A little teaser. It's going to be Ford.
Is Ford doomed? We shall see.
All right. Bye, everyone.